Hi everyone. So today I am here with FM Aradhya Garg, who actually won a very beautiful game against the top seed of the first Indore GM tournament, Levan Pantsulaia. So Aradhya, how did the game go? If you can explain it briefly.
Yeah, so the game was very interesting. It started out with knight f3, d5, c4, the red t opening, and I played d4, b4. He's played this very often. Even he played it in Delhi International.
Okay.
So I was not sure whether he'd play one c4 or one knight f3
Uh-huh.
because he plays both the lines. So I was confused whether he'll go for that or this. So I
Okay.
just briefly made up my mind what to play, and today was a double round, so I
Yes.
didn't have so much time to prepare. So over the board, I just played c5, and he played b5, which I had never seen before. I had seen g3 and e3.
Okay.
E3 most often I had seen.
Okay.
So b5 was a surprise for me.
So E3 is the main line you say, yeah?
Yeah, I think it's the main line. Then they take cb4, take d f cross e3, c cross b4, d4, and then the line goes on.
Right.
So that is what I expected.
Okay.
But instead,
this
he played b5.
B5 is probably maybe not so common, you mentioned.
Yeah, it may not be common, but it's very interesting. Here I was thinking of one interesting idea was e5, which I didn't check, but it was very interesting to me during the game.
Okay.
Because knight cross e5, bishop d6, and knight f3, knight f6 to follow up with castles, rook e8. But maybe white is just a pawn up, and because I'm not sure how to break through here from black, like you can play d3, g3, bg2, and I'm not sure how to exactly. White can play d3,
So,
g3,
yeah,
bg2.
sorry. White can do that.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if we have enough concrete counterplay to make amends for the pawn lost.
Right.
So I played b6 here, and g3, bishop b7, bishop g2. Here g6 was interesting because, and actually it was what the engine suggested. I checked very briefly after the game.
Okay.
I did to play bishop g7, then knight f6, and just like for example castles, bishop g7 here.
All right. So this is sort of the plan in this position.
Yeah.
But tell me that after this bishop g2, this idea which you mentioned actually, e5, uh, here you are also sacrificing a pawn, right? But okay, now it is not working because this is the
Yeah.
this is hanging.
It
So
is hanging.
right now this is not sort of a pawn sacrifice.
Yeah.
But from what it seems to me, black is getting quite a big center. Right.
Yeah.
So what does white have in turn? What white can say that this is good about my position?
Yeah, I think that the point with white is he just wants to play d3, and so I mean if he allows e4, then it's a little bit more dangerous, because although playing e4 is also very committal because you are overextending your center in some cases.
That's true. That's true.
But if we, for example, don't play that, if, for example, he plays d3, which he played in the game,
Okay.
then the center is kind of okay. He has some advantage on the flank, on the queen side,
Yeah.
and he can play castles and then even play e4 in some cases. And then the pawn count would be almost, the central pawn count would be almost similar.
Correct.
Although it's true, my d4 pawn is kind of grabbing a lot of space, but then his b5 pawn is also grabbing a lot of space on the queen side, which can turn handy in some cases.
Right. So, like a logical plan for white would be to play on the queen side.
Yes,
Correct?
yes.
And king side, maybe you can push some pawns at some point.
Yeah, king side and especially center, I believe I should try to play on, like bishop d6, knight f6, castles, rook e8, e4.
Okay.
I mean, that's obviously he won't allow everything.
Yeah.
But
That's the idea.
Yeah,
So-
that's the idea.
Okay. So you continued bishop d6.
Yeah.
Then he castled
Knight
and
f6.
knight f6. Just simply developing the pieces for now.
Here actually I was worried about e4 from him,
Okay.
because the idea is if I just play castles, then he plays knight h4 and then followed by f4,
Okay.
and knight d2, knight f3, knight f5 also, and I felt that this is good initiative for him, and I couldn't really see how to play for counterplay.
Right.
After e4, I can play d cross e3, but then bishop into e3, and this just looked good for me for white.
Yeah, because okay, you are sort of helping him develop his bishop.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is one thing, and also like
The
this-
advantage in the center I had is not there.
correct. That is the main point actually, because this is like this pawn here which you had. This actually controlled a lot of space, and now it's gone.
Yes, yes.
Correct. So, do you felt this was maybe sort of dangerous? If he had played d4, what would you have played?
I think I would have taken, because castles knight h4 looked very. It didn't look nice to me,
Right.
because I just didn't want to play g6, also bishop g5, and I mean after g6, bishop g5, f4, it just looked extremely dangerous to me.
Right.
So-
G6, it controls the knight from going to F5, but then again, now this is open.
Yeah, I was thinking here to play something like rook e8, but then I wasn't very pleased with the position after f4,
Right.
or if not f4 directly, then knight f5 first and then f4.
Yeah. So this would have been maybe the better choice.
Hmm.
But okay, he simply just okay. What did he do?
Knight h4.
Yeah. He just continued knight h4 at this point. He
Yeah.
didn't go for e4.
Yeah,
He directly played knight h4,
yeah,
going
yeah.
for the f5 square. Okay. And now you traded the bishops.
Yes.
G2, king g2, and castle. Right.
And now he played e4.
Yeah, now, but now it's different, no? Now, like some things are different. For example, you're already castled. Now, e4 may not be as effective as it was before.
Yeah, actually, if you go to the and the biggest difference is that the bishops are exchanged.
Correct.
In the previous variations, the bishop was on b7 and the bishop was on g2. If we just
Right.
go back there,
Yeah.
but now the bishops are exchanged, which
Correct.
I'm not sure whom it favors. Usually, exchange of pieces will favor the side who has less space.
Right.
So in that sense, it should favor white.
Right.
If you see strictly from that.
Correct.
But then white has more space on the queen side. I have on the center.
That's
So
true.
it's not clear who exactly this
Yeah.
trade favors to me at
Correct.
least.
So theoretically, as you mentioned, that the player who has less space, they should benefit from a trade. But okay, you have space in different sides of the board, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You have in the center, he has in the queen side. So
Yes.
that's one thing. King g2, castle, e4, as you mentioned, and now you took d3,
Yeah.
d3, fe3, and e4. So an important central break, and it actually changes the position quite a lot. So I read somewhere that if you make a central pawn break, which changes the nature of the position, it is either very good or very bad. So what did you think about this pawn break?
Well, to be honest, I didn't know about this. What you said that
Okay.
a central pawn break I think is very good for you or very bad for you.
Yeah.
It's very rarely neutral.
Yeah.
But it actually makes a lot of sense. I mean, if I think about it now.
Okay.
So I think e4 is almost compulsory because if I don't play, he will play e4,
Correct.
and then the dark squares are very weak.
Correct. So if, for
And
example,
my bishop on d6 is
yeah, for
very
example, if you
misplaced.
continue with something like this,
Hmm.
then now he pushes this.
Yes.
Now, okay, you may argue that this is a weak square now,
Hmm.
but now he has a lot of space. For example, this is a permanent
Yeah.
weakness.
f5 is weak, g5 is weak.
Correct. So, lot of weaknesses, and you simply cannot allow this. So, you play d4 yourself.
Hmm.
And now he continued knight f5,
Yes.
bishop e5. You want to save your bishop, of course. And
Actually, I
now-
checked that bishop c7 is apparently best, but I
Okay.
don't know exactly. During the game, it didn't look like that to me. I thought bishop b2 and only he can be better.
Right.
But after knight f5, I think he already has a huge initiative. So
Yeah, because this knight does look
Quite
this,
powerful.
yeah, this is a powerful knight, so to say. After bishop e5, he continued d4. Bishop c7. Now you went back bishop c7, and now bishop b2. So yeah, it looks like white is quite comfortable actually.
yeah,
And okay, your position is not too bad or something like that, but white does look quite comfortable. So now you continued knight b d7, developing your last minor piece, I think. And now he continued dc5.
yes.
So was this the best choice for, like, what did you think about the position around this time? Like
Yeah.
what were you thinking?
I thought he can play normally, and he's definitely better because if I have to evict his f5 knight, I have to play g6 some point. And that will open the a1 h8 angle and make my king much weaker.
Right.
Also, I thought he can play knight d2 or knight c3,
Okay.
something like that. Also, if I ever take on d4, he'll take with the e pawn and then blockade the e4 pawn with knight e3. So, and this is actually the famous Nimzovich game where he blocks the, I think it's e4, e5, knight f3. It's a very old game, and it's usually used to demonstrate an idea that knight on e3 can control the e4 pawn very well,
Right.
almost single-handedly.
Okay.
So,
So what you mentioned is, let's say if he had continued knight c3, you took
e4.
Now this is not really a dangerous passed pawn because of this knight.
Yeah,
Okay.
because of knight on f5.
Okay, you don't play this directly, of course. But the main point is that okay, this f5 knight is actually quite powerfully controlling the e3 square. And while it may seem that this is a passed pawn, this is in reality not very strong.
Yeah, that's
And
what I feel.
right, and that is the Nimzovich maneuver, as you said.
Yeah.
Right, that's really nice. So okay, but he in the game continued DC5.
Yeah.
Like, did you feel this was a good move, or like
I felt
at that
it's
point?
wrong because actually DC5 I thought maybe there is something, but I knew that my move has to be BC5 because
Right.
knight C5, knight D2,
Uh-huh.
and he has very good initiative. I mean everything is weak,
Uh-huh.
and the problem was actually I just considered knight C5 after playing my move.
Okay.
So I should have considered before, and then I was kind of unhappy. Why did I not think of it while it was my turn to play?
Right.
But BC5 actually I was a bit worried about knight G7 here
Knight
because
G7.
this is forcing and it looks quite
Okay. Wow. So
quite
how?
good.
So how does Knight G7 work actually?
Yeah,
So
king
let's-
G7, queen G4 check,
Queen G4 check.
king H8,
Uh, King H8.
rook into F6, knight
and-
into F6, queen G5.
Yeah, this is actually quite forcing in nature because
Yeah, yeah.
okay, now I guess Black has to find.
Nothing. It's just lost.
Oh, it's completely lost.
Yeah, because
Oh,
bishop
wow.
F6 check is threatened,
Ah,
and he has an extra rook after that.
all right, all right. So this is a very interesting line. Knight G7, King G7, and
Queen G4.
so Knight G7 is just outright winning, or do you have
No,
a
I
defense?
think I have knight G7. What I was thinking at least was knight E5.
Knight E5. Okay, so you want to close this diagonal now.
Yeah, and I want to exchange queens.
Right, and you want to exchange queens as well. So yeah, it serves sort of a double purpose, this move. And now, okay, what can White do?
He
White
can take on D8.
take.
Then I can take with the rook.
Yeah.
Knight F5. And after this,
I think okay, now it's maybe back to equality, or sort of the balance in the position has somehow returned. But who do you think it favors?
actually I still feel that white is better here, to be very honest.
Okay.
But actually it's very funny because when I checked, okay, I just checked with the ninja, which is not that strong.
Uh-huh.
But knight G7 was not even considered there.
Okay.
So I really wonder what the point was because I was pretty sure king G7. Actually, there's one line king G7, queen G4, king. I think king H6. But king H6 is.
King H6 looks too dangerous, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I can't believe king H. But it's chess. I mean, chess.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
If it works, it works.
Yeah, it's basically like that.
All right. Okay. I won't turn on the engine right now. Let's analyze by ourselves.
Sure,
Maybe
sure.
try to figure out some of the details. But okay, King H6 it might be an interesting option. But let's not delve into that actually because after BC5 he continued knight D2. He didn't think. Maybe he also calculated the sacrifice and it didn't work out.
Actually, he thought for a long time after BC5.
Okay, so maybe he was also calculating knight G7 or some other move as well.
Yeah.
Probably.
Probably.
So knight D2 he continued, and now you play bishop E5. So okay, this bishop of course is quite a strong piece, and you would like to trade it off.
Yeah. I would like to neutralize it.
Correct. So bishop E5, knight
And
E5.
also one important fact is that after bishop E5, knight E5,
Uh-huh.
all his kingside initiative has almost vanished
Okay.
because now it doesn't seem that he has many targets for attack. In the previous line, like knight G7, king G7, queen G4, king H8, rook F6, queen G5, this diagonal was the reason he was winning.
Correct.
In that queen G5 line.
Correct.
But here after we trade the bishops, his kingside initiative is kind of
Gone.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, I guess this knight is good looking. Like it looks good, but okay, what is it actually doing?
Yeah.
This bishop was sort of its valuable counterpart.
Yeah.
Which is right now gone. Okay, so in the game he continued knight b3, and now you played knight d3. So okay, your knight has got a very nice square here, I guess.
Yeah.
And it controls lot of squares. We can maybe call it the octopus knight, maybe.
Knight D3 is actually the octopus knight.
Yeah, knight
The
d3
same
is
as,
exactly.
Karpov-Kasparov game.
Yes. And I believe it was some match 24 or 25, like very deep
Game
into
24,
the
24,
game
yeah.
24, something like that. Yes.
1985. Okay.
Yeah,
Anyway.
okay. We are going to a different direction there. So, okay, G4.
Yeah, this actually surprised me because I thought his king is weak. So G4 just made it much weaker.
Definitely.
And here I realized that now I should try to open the position.
Right. Because you realize that, okay, his king is right now actually weak and you can attack it.
Yeah. And it's generally known that opening of the position favors the side whose king is safer.
Correct.
So I tried to.
Yeah, your king is super safe right now. We can definitely say that.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the game, now you continue knight d7. It seemed
Yeah.
like quite an interesting move to me. What was the idea behind this?
My idea was to play knight d e5,
Okay.
and then the c4 the c4 pawn is weak, the f3 square is weak, the g4 pawn is weak, and if he allows me to get this, which is, I mean, it's just a move away,
Yeah.
then it should be quite promising for me. But I thought he may play knight g3 here, but even then knight d e5.
Okay. Knight g3 in this position. You mentioned.
Yeah, even then knight d e5,
Yeah.
and I thought it's good for me.
It should be good, I guess, because okay, if he does take this,
Then I'll take on c4 probably,
take on c4, yeah, and
queen
okay.
e2, but rook e8 also, it's an idea.
But yeah, it seems pretty clear visually, as to say,
Mhm.
like this king is very weak,
Mhm.
and his knights are sort of menacing looking,
Yeah.
and queen is coming into the attack. Maybe you can
Also there's queen d5. Okay, anyway, sorry,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
cutting you off.
No, it's okay. So queen d5 is there, and
Queen f3, but the variation goes on. But oh, there's a beautiful line here.
okay,
Knight d e5.
knight d e5,
Knight d e5.
knight d e5. Okay,
And if knight f6 check, g into f6, queen d5, there is knight e3 check and knight d5.
this is so beautiful. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you
This is
just
very nice.
sometimes we just stop a variation one move.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah, just one move too short, and I'm glad you didn't stop it, because this is really beautiful.
Knight d5.
Like this pair of knights, simply monstrous.
Yeah. This is actually just winning. This is piece up.
Yeah, of course, this is piece up, but okay, this pair of knights, they're working very effectively to make this combination
Yeah,
come
yeah.
together. Okay, so in the game, what happened is after knight d2, okay, he went knight d2 now after knight d7,
Yeah.
right? And you went knight 7 to e5. Okay, as you mentioned your idea. Now you're controlling lot of squares. You're attacking this pawn over here, and also this square. He continued queen e2, queen d7, and
Here I was actually thinking of to queen e2 to play rook e8
okay,
or something, but it just felt to me that queen d7 I need to play queen e6 is most effective, because
okay,
I thought that the c4 pawn is weak and I'm threatening queen into c4, and this should be good for me.
right.
But my initial intention was actually rook e8.
Okay, so initially you wanted to play this move, rook e8. Okay.
But
And
I
I
decided
guess,
against it.
yeah, I guess this like also sort of defends against threats of knight into e4.
Actually, knight e4, knight c4, rook d1. I'm not totally sure what that position is. Oh, rook d1, maybe there's knight b2, knight c b2.
Knight c b2.
But this is getting a little complex, but I think this works, if I'm not mistaken.
This should also be very good for black, you mentioned.
Yeah, but it's calculation, so we can't really just, like in the previous variation, just one move short and we
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah, and that's true. And at that point, like at this point of time, how much time did you have on the clock?
I had much more time than him,
Okay.
and I think I had 20 minutes. He was playing in minutes.
Okay.
So little minutes.
Right,
Not
so-
seconds, but 2-3 minutes.
Okay. I guess this after this point, this decision of playing knight d2, this actually cost him a lot of time.
Yeah.
Okay. So coming back, queen d7, knight e4 he played. Now he went queen e6 as was your plan. To
Actually, I was thinking somehow after queen d7, I was like, why did I play this? Because it's knight e4 not coming.
yeah, right.
But actually, I was then thinking queen b7. But queen b7, there's knight f d6.
Okay.
So then I saw
if you can go a
queen
little
e6
bit
is
slowly,
no.
actually, I just
No,
lost the
that's
thought.
okay.
After queen e6, what can white play actually here? After queen e6, you
No,
mentioned-
actually, I was thinking
Okay.
queen b7.
Okay, after queen b7,
Knight f d6 is there.
knight f d6 is there.
And
That's
now everything is protected, and rook a d1 is the next move. I mean, he can try rook a d1 next,
right.
and I think white is doing well.
Yeah, white should be doing well actually,
Actually,
because
quite well.
yeah, quite well, probably winning.
Yeah.
Okay, not too sure about that, but maybe winning because okay, the control you had over the position is not
Yeah.
lost
It's cool.
because the knights have somehow found a way to coordinate themselves.
Yeah.
So this is also pretty interesting because we are seeing a battle of two knights versus two knights. So yeah, no bishops in the board, and sometimes it can get quite complex with these little creatures hopping around, you know. So knight e4, and you went queen e6, and rook a d1. Okay. And now he just took.
Yeah, actually, to be honest, it's a little strange because when he played rook d1,
Uh-huh.
I felt queen c4 is just there.
Right.
So sometimes what happens is we tend to second guess ourselves if you're
Right.
playing against a strong opposition.
Right.
I just thought, and I didn't find anything wrong with my calculation, and I went ahead with it.
Right.
And I took at max 30 seconds here, maybe even less,
Right.
probably even less.
Okay.
So that I think is something good that I did
Yeah,
during the game. That if
definitely.
you see something is good, and even if your opponent is strong and has played it quickly or whatever, if you believe in a calculation, you should stick to it.
That's true.
I think
Because
that's-
sometimes you think that sometimes you maybe trust your opponent a bit too much. You think that okay, he definitely has seen this move coming. Maybe there's some sort of plan to it.
Yeah.
And then you start second guessing and
Yeah.
it goes haywire basically. But you trusted yourself. You played queen c4. And after this, I'm not sure what happened. I was at first thinking maybe this is some sort of DGT transmission error. But he just went king g1. What happened there?
Yeah, actually what happened was that he probably thought that I'm threatening knight f4 check, which I am threatening.
Yeah, you are.
So, but he could have just gone knight e g3 or knight f g3,
Uh-huh.
and probably knight e g3 because the knight f5 is still kind of always looking for some threats on g7.
Right.
But I'll play queen b5, and this is good for black, but play is still ahead. I mean, it should be winning, but
You have to
it's
work
not
for
over.
it.
I have
Yeah.
to work for it.
You have to work for it. But okay, king g1 just hangs a piece.
He just missed queen e4. Maybe he also wanted to play knight e d6 or knight f d6.
Uh-huh.
So, but if he plays knight f d6 or knight e d6 directly, there is knight f4 check.
Right.
So instead of king g1, if we play on the previous move knight e d6, knight f4 check, or knight f d6 also knight f4 check.
Yeah. Now, this knight f4 idea is working, and I guess it just got a bit too complicated, and king g1 he just hung this knight, and did he instantly resign?
Yeah, he just resigned.
Okay, yeah. So, and 25 move victory, we can call this a modern miniature game, I can say. And this must give you a lot of confidence, right?
Yeah, for sure it did. I felt in the opening I was kind of outplayed, but I hung in there and I tried to focus. And one of the good things I think which I did in this game was I just kept focusing constantly.
Right.
No matter what happened, no matter how I was feeling, I just wanted to focus, and I tried to do that constantly.
Right.
And I was able to do that, and I'm happy to have won. And Pantsulaia actually I've played 2-3 times before,
Okay.
so we have some history. I mean, good history, not like
Not like fighting or something.
no fight. He's actually a very kind guy also, and he's a very strong player, as you all know. So it was good to get a win over him. And also the previous 2 games I had lost. So I mean, it's good to have won.
Yeah.
But I still stand by my opinion. He's extremely strong and very nice as a person. As well.
Also, Levan is, I think, very frequent in the Indian circuits. He plays a lot of Indian tournaments, I think.
Yeah. I actually played against him last year in an Indian tournament.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, great game, Aradhya. Congratulations. And what tournaments are coming up for you next? Any plans?
Yeah. No plans of yet.
Okay.
But I mean, there are some things that have not been decided. If I will be playing or not, I have to see the visa appointment and all. So there is
Okay.
nothing confirmed that I'll be playing. But there are some options which we'll be considering.
I see. And for now, I guess today was round 3. There are still 7 more rounds to go. How are you feeling about the tournament?
Yeah, it's going good. There are quite some strong players, and this tournament kind of reminds me of something I had heard. It's basically a joke,
Okay.
but the joke is that in Sri Lanka, the person who was the shortest in height
Okay.
was also 7 feet tall,
Okay.
which shows the strength of this tournament. That the person who's the lowest rated is also quite strong.
Yeah, definitely.
So
And,
nobody can be taken lightly here at all.
Definitely. And quite a lot of rating upsets are happening actually. From the first round itself. For example, I think in the second round itself, FM Harsh Suresh, he also defeated GM Alexandrov, I believe. So quite a lot of rating upsets, and it's definitely underrated, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
So thank you for your time, Aradhya, and best of luck for the rest of the games.
Thank you.